Hey everyone, this is Fernando doing another video for more survivalists. In this case, another quick pocket EDC update. I don't think I changed anything at all, really, but it's still good to go through the basics and why it is that we carry what we do. Cell phone, obvious enough why you need one of these to stay in touch. Still with a Note 2, and this is going to be my phone for some time with the OtterBox Defender case. Why is it that you need a cell phone? We all know why that is. A cell phone like this one, being so big, has it's even handy as a mini pad of some sort, so it is good for that as well. And with the OtterBox case, it's pretty tough. I've already dropped it a few times. Of course, OtterBox, at least in that regard, hasn't let me down, still protecting the phone from falling on the pavement, on the street and such, so pretty happy with that. Biggest advantage of a phone like this one, the Note 2, the battery. The battery is just amazing how long it lasts, and it just makes things easier for us. You don't have to recharge it as often, and when you do, you have plenty of juice in it. So that's pretty neat. You obviously need your wallet with your documents, your cards and such, and money being one of the most practical tools for any sort of event, emergency. Money is always handy. It always gets you most of the things you could possibly need, as long as you have the cash for it on the go. That's one of the best tools at your disposal. And with my ugly wallet that one of you guys said that it's actually pretty, so thanks for that, it's just growing on me. I really learned to appreciate how handy this wallet is. The bright color is so easy to see whenever I'm looking for it. It's very visible, and the way that the pockets are organized in this way, so that cards don't just drop out of there accidentally, which is something that did happen with my previous wallet. When getting it out or doing like this, the cards would just drop and fall out on that direction. So it keeps cards well in place. It actually has your bills go in there, and it has another pocket for some emergency cash you want to keep, which is always a good idea, and then you have your compartment there for coins. So yeah, I understand it looks like a 10 years old wallet. I get that, but you know what? It's so handy, it's so practical for the things that I want. I'm just loving it. And yeah, I don't know. At least it's unique. You don't see that many of them. The Velcro thing is a little bit childish, but other than that, just loving it. Just like it a lot. You also need, of course, a folder. Whatever it is that you can carry, whatever it is that you are, but at least have one. This is the Boker Plus Trans Model 42, and no, as I've said many times and such, this is not a locking blade. Alright, even though there is a locking knife, exact same configuration as this one, but this one is a non-locking little folder. So that does it there. Have at least one multi-tool or a Victorinox knife. Alright, at least something that gives you a bit more tools than just your basic knife. Alright, as you know, in my opinion, the best one you could have, the Charge TTI, Leatherman Charge TTI, amazing for all the reasons explained in the proper video of it. The flashlight is another essential you just don't want to be without. Okay, have a flashlight. Okay, and yes, still with the EagleTac D25C. Why? Because it's so small, so handy. The button is not pressed accidentally since it's flushed. I've had it went into the washing machine, still working. I got caught in the rain several times, got wet, still working well, and just working the way it's supposed to be working. So that's all you could expect from any tool or piece of gear, is not letting you down, and this so far hasn't let me down. I always keep an eye on the market. If there's anything that gives me real advantages, better performance, it's going to be replacing whatever it is that I'm using. Always keeping the basics covered, the basics that I'm always talking about. And yes, there's always a little bit extra that you can do yourself, like adding this high visibility cord with a whistle. You know, everything is like black and tactical, but it's not really practical for when you actually lose stuff or when you drop it accidentally when you really need it. So that little bit of customizing stuff adds an advantage here and there. In this case, it gives me more visibility and a whistle, which a whistle is always nice to have in case you have to be getting people's attention. It's a good idea, especially a small whistle like this. For you guys that always ask about where it is I get stuff and such, this is look it up as a Chords End whistle. In eBay you'll probably find it. I don't know if it's available just right now, but in general that's how you find it. It's a cord end whistle. Just assembles into it like that. Of course, I have your house keys. Another essential no one would be leaving their house without. And in my case, what I have in my house keys is backup for all of this stuff that I've been showing. I have Phoenix LDO1 as a backup for the flashlight. I have a peanut lighter, a titanium peanut lighter, as a backup for the lighter that I also carry in my pocket, and Victorinox Mini Champ as a backup for knife, multi-tool, or you know, any of those small tools that always come in handy. Also a small pry bar and USB drive. This is the SanDisk Traveler that I've been carrying lately. I haven't carried enough so as to have a good idea of how well it's gonna be lasting long term. So far so good, so no complaints there. But yeah, I'll be needing a few more months so as to have a better idea of how well it holds, you know, just getting beaten around there in the keychain. As I was saying before, lighter, a way of starting fire. A lighter, I think that's another basic that you should have covered. In this case, this is the True Utility lighter. You know, very solid. That's my impression after some time. Of having it with me, it's pretty solid construction. The gas does not last an awful lot, but for someone that isn't a smoker such as myself, and I hope you are not a smoker either, because of, you know, it's pretty bad for you. This is pretty good. It's not going to be running out of gas if you don't use it regularly, like maybe a smoker would. Then it does last. You know, it does get the job done. Now the thing is, it doesn't have the advantage of the peanut lighter. In terms of the peanut lighter is great because in spite of using lighter fluid, what it has is the flint. The flint, you can actually use it even if you run out of fuel. You could use that flint for starting fires. A good peanut lighter with a good O-ring, kept in good shape, not one that has dried out or anything like that, will keep the fluid of the lighter for average 6 months. That's been my experience after several years of having peanut lighters in my keychains. That's actually what you can come to expect from them. But you know, again, have two, because two is one and one is none. That's it. All right, so even if this isn't ideal, I always have the backup that it's covering me. A good option if you want to go into the classic route of type of lighters is the one that I've reviewed recently, the Zippo lighter with the Thunderbird insert. The Thunderbird insert means that it's working on lighter gas, and it has no wick, no lighter fluid, so it doesn't run dry. It doesn't the lighter fluid, like in a typical Zippo, you don't have that. You just have this insert that I've shown in another video, right guys? The insert that fits into your Zippo. And the nice thing about this is not only that you're not forced to refill your Zippo every couple of weeks like you would have to do with an ordinary Zippo. Not only that, but you still have the ignition system of the Zippo. You still have that wheel and flint, and that you could use it for starting a fire if you have a bit of fabrics, cotton, maybe even hair or clothing that you tear up a little bit. You put it in there, and with a spark you have the chance of starting a fire in spite of everything else getting broken or running out of gas, you still have that option. So it's a good idea. What I like about this format as well is that it fits in my jeans pocket. You know that little pocket for the lighter or coins that you have in most jeans? This fits perfectly well there in that little pocket, and there's no room for it left. It just sits there and doesn't move or anything, so it's very comfortable. You just forget about it in spite of not being the lightest lighter there is. Same for the Zippo. This one with the badges, with the special custom-made badges, this is a little bit more bulky, as you see, pretty thick, but in that little pocket of my jeans, you just forget about it. I just forget about it, and I still have the lighter with me. In my jackets, I will have a little bit of a Technora cord. This is Leroy's Magic 2mm, 2mm thick, yet has the breaking point of 550 paracord. Alright, so I have 7 feet of cordage in my pocket, just very light, not much bulk as it would have been with a 550 paracord, and I still have that same strength. That's pretty neat. Yes, the difference, and big difference actually, would be that with 550 paracord you have 7 strands on the inside, and that can be pretty handy during a more delicate type of emergency. You would have 7 times the amount of smaller strands if you have to break it down like that. But this is extremely good in terms of being capable of a breaking point of 550 pounds for a 2mm thick rope. That's pretty amazing. Finally, well, I would have my same sunglasses as before. These are Wiley X revolvers. They have been around quite a bit. They have been with me for a few years now and have several scratches, but they hold on pretty well, and they're not that that flashy. They don't look anything weird or anything like that. So they are good sunglasses that offer a good level of eye protection in case you ever need it, and if not, you just have your normal sunglasses. With in terms of car key, same as before, hasn't changed anything here. My car keys, the Boker Vox titanium pry bar that has the glass breaker, bottle opener, and of course the pry bar, which doesn't get used a lot. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, but it's always there if I need it. What I did add, I think I already did this in the previous Pocket EDC update, is a small flashlight. Why? I don't know why, but for some reason, whenever parking the car or something, it just feels handier to just use the little light in the keychain. So you see how this is, guys. For stuff that is essential, spares is important. So you see that at least three types of knives here and there, and without even realizing, you have 1 flashlight, 2 flashlights, 3 flashlights in the with this other keychain, and actually a 4th flashlight in the mini champ. And if push comes to shove, one of the lighters could actually be used as a source of light as well. So that's a nice thing of having your Pocket EDC organized this way. At least the way I have it, and this it has been with me for a long time. Except for a few variations here and there, and of course updates because of obvious reasons. I don't have the same flashlight with me that I have 5 years ago, because the technology has improved in such a way that what I have, what's in the market right now is much better than what we had back then. But the basics are still the same. Having the folder, multi-tool, flashlight, a way of starting fire, your wallet, your cell phone. That's the idea of how you go about it. And finally, in terms of your keychain, what you keep in your keychain, another way I think about it is this. If I'm just leaving the house and the only thing I would have with me is my keychain, because I'm locking the door as I leave, I will have a small knife, a flashlight, a way of starting fire, and a good amount of my important documents and data here in this small USB drive. All right, so that's at least you have that there in your keychain. Finally, the watch. It's still the Casio Pro Trek triple solar PRG 250T. It is a little bit more banged around than it was in the in the first video I did about it, but still loving it, still liking it a lot. It is kind of big, that much I will say, but because it's made of titanium, it's so light you just forget about it. I've had it in swimming pools, the ocean. I don't take it off. I don't babysit it or anything like that, so it gets banged around quite a bit. I don't know if you get to see any scruff marks or anything like that, but it is a pretty nice watch. I'm happy with it so far. You have the moon chart there, the barometric pressure chart. You see how it's going up. If the barometric pressure chart is showing this tendency of going up, that means that tomorrow we will have nice weather. It's already getting better, and I know I checked on the internet, and indeed tomorrow we were supposed to have a nice sunny day. So it's always nice. The barometric pressure chart, I've gotten used to it, and indeed it does give you a pretty good idea of how weather is changing, and not only how it is changing, but also how fast it's changing. If it's suddenly going up like that very fast, it means that very quickly you will be seeing good weather, probably within a few hours. If it's dropping very fast, then that's bad news. If it's dropping, if it's very steep, as it sometimes is, you know, if it's going down just a little bit at a time, then weather is just getting a little bit worse. You will see a little bit of rain. If it goes down very fast, if barometric pressure drops very fast, you're seeing a storm pretty soon. So yeah, it's great for that. You also have the moon graphic there, altitude, thermometer, I think, and compass, and you have the tide graphic as well. So very nice watch, very nice Casio, very tough as well, and not needing any batteries because of the tough solar system. All this is a solar panel. That's pretty neat too. Guys, almost 17 minutes, so I don't want to take any more of your time. Just a quick pocket EDC update and an excuse to us to talk about all these things just one more time. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe. See you on our next video.